Privileged to stand before you and welcome you on behalf of PhD Chamber of Commerce Industry. This is now we are in Drone Manthan edition 3.0, and from its inaugural edition that was in March 2024 to its most recent chapter in July 2026, Bharat Drone Manthan has evolved from a promising industry gathering into PhD CCI's flagship platform for India's drone and robotic ecosystems. Manthan 1.0, it laid the foundation of spotlighting UTM, UAM and AAM system. Manthan 2.0 advanced the conversation towards Viksit Bharat vision and deepening industry-government collaboration. And now Manthan 3.0 marks a decisive shift from vision to action, driving AI-led innovation, skilling and manufacturing as India targets 25% share of the global drone market by 2030. So without any further ado, I'll request Dr. Ranjit Mehta, CEO and Secretary General PhD CCI, to kindly start the proceedings with his welcome address. Over to you, Dr. Mehta.
Good morning, everyone. Air Chief Marshal, Shri A.P. Singh, PVSM, AVSM, Chief of the Air Staff, Indian Air Force. Dr. Paneer Selvam, CEO, METI, Startup Hub. Dr. N. Ranjana, Scientist, DRDO. Mr. Edward, our Chair of Civil Aviation Committee. Mr. Michael Jain, Co-Chair of Civil Aviation Committee. Dr. Jatinder Singh, Deputy Secretary General. Men and women in uniform, ladies and gentlemen, all the distinguished participants. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all in this Bharat Drone Manthan 2026. And it's a privilege to have our chief guest, Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh ji, with us today. Sir, you have been a true source of inspiration, and today when you visited the stalls, I think the youngsters, the startups, they were highly motivated, and it's a great motivation for them, as your visit will further motivate them to innovate more for the country. Ladies and gentlemen, every great nation had a technology that changed the destiny. The steam engine powered the industrial revolution. The internet reshaped, of course, the digital age, and artificial intelligence today is transforming everything in our lives. For Indian drones have the potential to become one of those defining technologies. That is the moment that we have today. It's not that they fly high, it's because they can uplift millions of people high in our society. They can create the jobs for many of our youngsters. And the way India is growing today, we have more than 150,000 startups in our country today. They are transforming, innovating for the country. When Startup India was launched in 2016, we had only around 400 registered startups. But today, as we are talking, we are having more than 150,000 startups and more than 115 unicorns. And some of the unicorns, they took around 1.5 years to become that unicorn valuation that they had. So this is the kind of innovation that is going in our country. Despite the West Asia crisis for last so many months, I think that our economy is growing at the rate of around 7%, and many of the reports they suggest that we will continue to grow more than 7%. There could be some difference of decimals, but this is the power of resilience of Indian economy. And today, with the presence of Air Chief Marshal with us, I think that he is one of the most distinguished officers that we have, and we cannot forget the Operation Sindoor, which will go in the annals of the history, for which every Indian is proud of. And ladies and gentlemen, at PhD CCI, which is also celebrating 121 years of its legacy, it's a proud privilege to have you, sir, with us today. And without taking much of the time, we are definitely going to listen to his vision. And these small machines, the drone, it's not the size of the machine. I think it's the vision of our youngsters, the vision of our nation, the large vision that is propelling us, that is charting the roadmap for Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you very, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we welcome you all to this the Drone Summit 2026. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta, for laying the foundation of Drone Manthan 3.0. Now I would like to invite Mr. Sanjeev Edward, Chair of PhD CCI Civil Aviation Committee.
Good morning, distinguished guests, industry leaders, members of the armed forces and policymakers, innovators, entrepreneurs, academia, startup founders, and all participants. It's my privilege to welcome you to the Bharat Drone Manthan 3.0, a very landmark initiative that reflects India's growing ambition to actually become a global leader in drones, robotics, autonomous systems, and deep tech innovation. In fact, this event has been very thoughtfully conceptualized around the theme, vision to action, and powering India's dream for a deep tech future. And it's bringing together some of the finest minds from the government, defense, industry, academia. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to and a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed dignitaries, and especially our Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh Ji for actually being here this morning with us, Dr. Paneer Selvam, Dr. N. Ranjana from DRDO. And your presence really signifies the importance of this sector and also reinforces the collective commitment required to build a very globally competitive and self-reliant technology ecosystem for India. I would also like to place on record my sincere appreciation to the leadership of the PhD CCI, actually, for particularly Dr. Rajit Mehta and the team for organizing this event, which is really conceptualizing and delivering a very important platform for this, because what is particularly commendable that PhD CCI has been consistent in commitment towards very futuristic initiatives that will help industry anticipate change rather than merely react to it. At a time when technology cycles are becoming shorter, innovation is reshaping industries at unprecedented speed, platforms such as Bharat Drone Manthan 3.0 are helping to create a very meaningful dialogue. This session that we are particularly having is themed on Bharat drones, robotics, and advancing towards Viksit Bharat 2.0. Actually, if you see very importantly, our Honorable Prime Minister has also repeatedly emphasized that this is the time and the right time, and India's time has arrived. The vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 is not merely about economic growth, it's about positioning India as a global leader in innovation, manufacturing, technology, and human capital. Drones, robotics, AI, autonomous systems, and advanced mobility solutions will be central to achieving that vision. They will strengthen national security, transform industries, enhance productivity, create high-value employment, and establish India's leadership in the technologies that will define the future. In fact, the nations that master intelligent machines and autonomous systems today will define global competitiveness tomorrow. I firmly believe that India has both the talent and the determination to be among those leaders. And I would also like to mention, especially our defense forces and veterans present today. The armed forces have consistently, sir, actually demonstrated how technology can be harnessed to strengthen national capability. safeguard our nation's interests. Their willingness to embrace innovation, evaluate emerging technologies, and collaborate with industry and startups has played a very pivotal role in India's drone system as it exists today. As industry leaders and policymakers, we must match that spirit and equal determination and commitment. In closure, I would, again borrow a comment which for our Honorable Prime Minister, which reflects the spirit of this gathering. The future will belong to those who innovate, those who adapt, and those who lead. As we gather here today, we have opportunity to do all three of these. Let this Bharat Drone Manthan 3.0 become more than a conference, or an exhibition. Let it become a place where ideas evolve into innovation, where innovation into enterprise and enterprise into national capability. Together, let us contribute to building a technologically empowered, self-reliant and globally competitive India. The future is not waiting for us. The future is being built by us here and now. So thank you once again for your presence and participation, and once again thank you for each one for being here. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Now I'd like to invite special address by Dr. Paneer Selva Madan Gopal, CEO, Meti Startup Hub.
A very good afternoon to all of you, respected Chief Guest sir, and the dignitaries on the dais of the dais. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this afternoon for a very special event. I think it's really something that we all need to be extremely proud of, that where we have reached today in the drone ecosystem. And METI, for some of you may not be aware of the full form, Ministry of Electronics and IT, has taken a very, very focused effort in building the drone ecosystem. So I take care of the METI Startup Hub and the India AI Mission Startup Program. So essentially, today, if you look at the warfare ecosystem, the automotive ecosystem, you take any ecosystem, electronics plays a very, very vital role. If you're taking an ICE engine car, it's almost 30% electronics. If you're taking an EV today, almost 70% it is electronics. So it plays a very vital role. And in terms of being a Viksit Bharat in 2047 and Atmanirbhar Bharat current in the next 5 to 7 years, electronics is one of the key areas, be it simple PCBs to high-end semiconductors. So it is a pivotal time in the history of India that we have to now focus on key elements such as electronics design and manufacturing, and we have come a long way in that. And of course, our ministry has been in partnership with various organizations, have done multiple programs to ensure that there is sufficient support in the ecosystem. For all my startup founders in the room, there is no better time to start up than now, because the amount of ecosystem support that you have in terms of mentoring, market access, money, it's phenomenal support system that is available for you from almost 17 to 18 ministries in the government today have a dedicated startup program. Of course, it is led by Startup India from DPIIT, METI and other ministries. But every ministry today has has a very dedicated startup program which will support you. And not to forget, one of our flagship programs is IDEX. Right, I was very fortunate to be part of the IDEX since inception, and it has changed the game in terms of how procurement from startups and how startups can collaborate with one of the best organizations, all the tri-services, and IDEX has proven that it is possible for government institutions or services to work with startups, and there's been fantastic progress in that. So there is a humongous amount of support in the ecosystem. There is no dearth of money. There is no dearth of talent. All we need to is now focus on the problem statements that we really want to solve, and build fundamentally strong companies with technology, and governance that will sustain us, in midterm to long term. So it's very imperative for startup founders here to take up a set of challenges and build a solution around it, and take the support that comes from the ecosystem, and build fundamentally strong companies. There are plenty of support schemes that are available. I don't want to go into detail about, but one thing I will want to share in the context of drone, there is a NIDR program which is from MeitY's side. This is something that you would definitely want to look at. And there is also electronic component and manufacturing scheme. So our endeavor is import substitution. Our endeavor is Atmanirbharta, and we want to really ensure that almost every drone component is manufactured in India and by Indian companies and Indian startups. So there is plenty of support system and schemes that are available for startups, SMEs and large corporations to kind of manufacture components as well as electronic drones and anti-drone systems. Whatever you would like to do, we are here to support, we are here to facilitate and ensure that we all move towards this phenomenal nation building activity in terms of making ourselves self-reliant, and more importantly create opportunities for our youth in the area of AI, manufacturing and deep tech, which is the future. And at MeitY Startup Hub and India AI Mission, be rest assured we are here to be with you in this journey. And we need to look at what are the opportunities in the market and go after that passionately. And with PhD CCI kind of organizations, I'm sure there is so much knowledge and interaction and engagement is being facilitated here in this event. So make best use of this opportunity today. I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot of conversations, and every conversation can spark an idea, and ideas can create impact, and we are here to facilitate that for you all. And once again, I take this opportunity to thank PhD CCI for having me here, and again thank you, sir, for being here. I think it's a wonderful program. All the very best for all of my entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.
Gopal, in fact, MeitY Startup Hub definitely is creating a very, very enabling ecosystem for startups. We used to have MOU with MeitY Startup Hub, and definitely will try to renew it now again. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Dr. N. Ranjana, Outstanding Scientist and Director, Directorate of Futuristic Technology Management, DRDO, Ministry of Defense.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Chief Guest and all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, fellow colleagues, startups, industries. It's an honor to come here and speak to this august audience. I think this is a very good initiative, and I think I have been part of earlier Bharat drone initiatives also. Many of the familiar faces are here who have been, towing this cause of drone independence or indigenization. I just want to talk about this kind of a system. We have seen the recent wars, the role of Shahid, the role of many such drones. They have become the mainstay of the war. Not only the mainstay of the war, they have also become mainstay of many of the logistics in the various worlds. And similarly, I think the other part is the robotics, which is basically driving a lot of manufacturing technologies actively. And in the real life scenarios, a lot of robotics is coming out. I think whosoever is following technology must be seeing every day there is a new control system, there is a new battery, there is a new material which is actually assisting all these technologies. So this is something which is happening in the ecosystem, and we all who are looking at the technology growth are worried as well as excited, because we are in a position where we can enable all these things happening in the country. Worried that we don't want to miss the bus once again. And so for this, from DRDO side, I would say there is a lot of work going on the deep tech and the underlying technologies that actually drive this drone. And what we did was, there is a lot of work happening by MIT and other government segments which are supporting the startups by the startup hub, seed money and other kind of funding. VCs are investing very heavily, but the industry and academia interface where actually the ideas are generating, DRDO thought in 2022, let us integrate the entire ecosystem and make it as DRDO Industry Academia Centers of Excellence. And this actually is a very large gamut. I will not go into that, but there is a focus on the underlying technologies of drones which are happening everywhere, and we are trying to connect industry with the academia. And this is how we work, that academia, we are forcing them, or we are working with them to make it possible that it becomes a product or a usable technology by the industry, and at the right moment we bring in the industry to take over from them, because we know that if it stays in lab, it is of no use to all of us, how much ever we claim that it is a great technology. So we thought we have to start bringing in the industry to the academia right away, and that's what is our whole of the work that we are doing. And I can tell you some of the dedicated verticals which are working in terms of aviation or in terms of drones. We have IIT Bombay as a hub where the aero engine, small turbofan and large aero engine, the deep technologies are in the work. Some of them are simulation tools which may be required by all the startups. Some of them are the kind of analysis which is required, aerodynamics analysis, which normally everybody is not capable of doing it today. So these are some of the hubs which are creating these underlying capabilities which are required to make the system real. The aircraft structure is also being studied there. Also, the application of manufacturing technologies in doing this kind of a thing. If you see today why drone industry is flourishing very well, it's the innovation which is driving it. And if you see, the innovation is limited only by imagination and execution. So if you can imagine but you cannot execute, you will not be able to know the aerodynamic characteristics of the shape that you are envisaging. So additive manufacturing has played a very important role. The control laws and the flexibility of these control laws which are being worked at the academia have played a very large role in making these drones possible. And I'm very glad to say that whenever I visit my DIA center in the academia, there are 5 startups interacting with them to actually make them real. So this is the kind of ecosystem where we are investing projects with the academia, but we are also ensuring that industry is being involved with them so that the take-up is much faster. Similarly, we are working on something very, very niche things probably which has not come to the mainstay of the commercial drones or the applicable drones today, the flapping wing micro air vehicles, the ornithopters, the the kind of metamaterials which can be used for the drones, also the swarms. And the drones have become mainstay. Swarms also are being used. We have not seen swarms in real war action as of now, may not be 2 or 3, but tomorrow the smaller vehicle will be the mainstay of these things, and a lot of investment has been made in terms of swarm technologies. And one of our young scientist laboratory, Device L80, is working extensively on these innovative ways of using drones and the swarms and the swarm algorithms, the positioning, the targeting, the communication. These are underlying technologies which we are trying to strengthen with all these kind of initiatives. So I also invite the startups as well as the industries who also are capable to, whenever we advertise for these technologies to be taken up by the industry, we are giving wide publicity on the DRDO website as well as the IITs and the institutes which are working on them. I request industry to at least look at these technologies that they can take it forward and productize it as fast as possible. This particular, and you will get mentoring from DRDO as well as the professors. So this model has been in works for 3 years. It is giving results, may not be in terms of drones, but many other products have been now being coordinated with IIT, DRDO, as well as industry together. We will soon be giving certain good news about it. The other thing what I want to talk about is this kind of ideas, the concrete. I really liked when he talked, the system is, everybody is doing their bit, but the problem statements need to be really concrete, detailed, somewhat feasible. It should not be just an imagination, and a lot of work goes on detailing these problem statements. If that kind of a effort is put in every problem, I am sure we will be able to make much better outcomes out of all the efforts that we are taking together. The other point I wanted to bring was, whatever we do it extremely well. That's what is something, it takes much more effort than just doing it and then making it a reality or making it into a product. The tail edge is something which is very, very difficult to cross. So we have to put effort on all the segment, not just new initiatives, innovations, making certain things which are maybe possible, but converting it into a product which can be mass produced, which is rugged and usable, is something which we want to focus on now. I think with this, I will say very good initiative by PhD CCI, and whatever new ideas you can share with us on the forums that we have launched, many forums now for having workshops in the IITs, sitting with professors so that we can work out the feasibility part of it. So lot is going on. All of you are invited to participate in this scheme, and we will be launching some of these ideas. So we have certain wind tunnels which many of us do not know. In every institute today there is a wind tunnel which can do these kind of tests, and these are available to all startups and industries. So that information also need to be provided to the ecosystem, that where do you want to go and test your ideas, and where do you want to go and test your underlying technologies. So thank you PhD CCI, and I'm honored to be here, and whatever support required from our side, you can write to us and you can be participating in this particular ecosystem which is developing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To all our distinguished speakers, especially the Air Chief. Sir, you brought spirituality, a little bit laughter, a little bit joy, and made everyone smile from the heart. And we really would like to thank you for that. I think this has been the third drone manthan. I've been here for all three, but none of them roared like the Jai Hind here today. So I'd really like to thank you and everyone for making this a success. You also mentioned, sir, that you're not technical, which I think is a little bit of a lie, because sir, you have a lot of knowledge on the subject, and you were able to motivate all the people in the hall, and those young students and kids will remember this for a very, very long time, sir. Sir, cheat code or not, winning the war is the end goal. So thank you, sir, and thank you everyone.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।